Satnam, hello, and welcome to the Moon Centers for Women. I'm so happy to have you. This is such an amazing, wonderful science that when Yogi Bhajan gave it to us years and years and years ago at a women's camp, we all thought it was really wonderful and then promptly forgot about it. And I'm hoping you're not going to do the same thing. When I remembered it and started delving into it years later, I realized what an amazing technology this was. It's like the cooking for the emotional part of a woman. That's really what it's about. It's a recipe for how to understand and how to deal with and uplift your emotional life. Which is so great because some of the time we think as women, it's like, oh my God, I've had PMS for 2 weeks. You're having your cycle, then it's like we feel like we're crazy half of the month, right? And men could probably think we're crazy maybe longer than that. The beauty is we don't have to do this. And you don't have to wait till menopause to feel like you can actually understand all of your cycles and be able to work with them. So the moon centers, what in God's name are they? They're these wonderful points on the body that are like acupuncture for the moon. And the moon is all about mystery, right? Moon is this wonderful luminescent thing. The sun gives us heat and power and it grows things. And the moon gives us that mystery, that vastness, that visions, There's whole societies that actually, when the moon isn't present, those dark days of the moon, they would go out calling to the moon, come back to us, don't be away from us. They would have these rituals, even though they knew that the moon wasn't gone. There was something very lonely about those nights that there was no moon to shine when they wanted to go somewhere, right? It was that stealth factor that they wanted the moon. So the moon is that which pulls and creates tides. The moon is the pronounced energy of the feminine. It's what rules the whole left side of our being. It's what rules our feminine nature. And it creates the cycles. What do we call our cycle? Our menstrual cycle is called a moon cycle, right? It's every 28 days. It's that cycle of the moon. As the moon goes through each planet. But really it's more like 2 1/4. I'm going to say 2 1/2, but more like 2 1/4 days. That the moon goes through each planet, right? The beautiful thing is that it also has a whole planetary aspect through you. And we're going to go over each one of those. There's only one tool that you need to create for this, and that's you need to download a picture that you like of the feminine form that you want to look at. You can put it on your mirror in your bathroom, your fridge, wherever you want it. The other thing you have to get is you have to get a friend. A partner, a lover, a husband, a really good friend who will be incredibly honest with you. Because you have to chart this. When I'm going through this, this is not how they're going to go through you. Can I say that again? I'm going to give you the lineup from the top of your head down, and that does not mean that's how it's going to go through you. How it's going to go through you, you will have to figure out and chart. And the best way that I know to do that is put something up and for 3 months in different colors, chart it. So you're going to write each center on the body, and then you're going to say where you think that you are, and you're going to have at least one other person's input. And if you each have a separate color pen, so month 1, you've got a red and black pen, you and your friend, okay? And on month 2, you've got a green and purple pen, okay? So you can start to see how it moves through you, all right? So for me, it could be, my hairline and my lips, and then my membranes of my vagina, and then back up to my cheeks. For you, it could be your eyebrows, your cheeks, your navel, your nipples, okay? You get it? It's not all the same for everyone. So I want you to know, super important to have your person, at least one, who's really truthful with you, doesn't placate you about where they think you are. Because some of these are kind of like when you're in a challenge space, some of them are kind of like, I don't want to be thought of as that. Get over it. you really want to know how this moves through you, it's going to be so powerful in your life. All right. So, that being said, get your chart, get your person. Those are the two things you have to get. We're going to go on and we're going to start talking about what in God's name these moon centers are. They are the encoding of what's going on emotionally in your being. And your emotions are very precious things. They're really the notification of your soul. The clear emotions. When we connect them to the story and the feelings and the this and the that, then they get really yikes. Okay? So we're going to take each moon center and we're going to give you the positive or the projective, the challenged or the negative, and the neutral aspect of each one. So ready? Okay. First all I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you each moon center, and then we're going to go back and just go through the positive, challenged, and neutral aspect. Then we're going to go back one at a time and expand on each one of those aspects. And the best thing is, I'm going to give you things that you can do to move yourself from challenge to positive or neutral, okay? Because all it takes is being able to shift the energy, okay? To be able to shift your reality, to move you into those stages. And each one of these has a great gift. So if you look ahead on these and you go, ooh, I'm going to be in my cheeks next week, what a perfect time to do a pitch, because cheeks are all about PR. Okay, we're going to talk about that with each one. So first, I'd like you to just close your eyes and just listen to this for a minute. I know this is very visual, but if you dare, close your eyes. And I'm going to just tell you what each one of them are. Okay. The first one is your hairline. Okay. Your hairline. I will come back and tell you what it means. Next, eyebrows, then cheeks, followed by lips, earlobes, nape of the neck, nipples, navel, inner thighs, clitoris, and the membranes of your vagina. Okay. How does the moon get into all of these places? It doesn't. It's a reflective, refractive situation. You know, it influences us. The sun does not actually have to walk into our house for us to feel the warmth, right? So the moon has the capacity to do acupuncture on us in these points. The first one, we're going to talk about the first one, this beautiful hairline, right? What is the hairline about? You know, the interesting thing is that a lot of societies have thought that certain hairlines were really beautiful, either ones that were back far or widow's peak or something, and people have actually plucked their hairlines to look like that so that they could have that. Can you imagine how this messed with the moon center? Oh my God. So your moon center and your hairline, what is that about? Vision. It's about you being a visionary. It's a time where your dreams can be amazingly powerful. Okay? It's a time where you can actually know things for people. When you meditate, you'll get messages. Maybe for yourself, maybe for other people. And the big thing that you don't want to do in this is don't second guess yourself. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't tell them this. If it's something really challenging, think about how you tell them, or maybe you wait. But the truth of it is that you will know at this point in time. This is why a lot of tribes had the women have times that they were out, you know, in the moon lodge, in the red tent, whatever it was, that they got to be out and getting the visions for the tribe. So think of that. This is your chance to be amazingly visionary, that you know, and trust that knowingness, okay? So that's the positive of that. The challenged aspect is paranoid. Isn't paranoia really what happens when we feel like we don't have any visions? Oh my God, oh my God. everybody's just being so hideous to me in the office. I'm sure I'm going to get fired. I can't believe this. Our vision is we know, okay, there's a really good chance that I'm going to get fired right now. There's a really good chance that, I should pay attention today and not drive to this place. But when we get paranoid, it paralyzes us. We don't necessarily have to get paranoid like thinking that, the FBI is after us or, Martians. There's, grades of paranoia. So paranoid can just be thinking that, your whole family's against you, this group of friends are talking about you. And the truth of it is that when we get like that, those things start happening. Because not only do we attract them, but our craziness makes them start to happen. So it's like we verify and justify that which we're freaking out about. And we don't want to be there. It's really not fun. It's not a fun place to be, and it's not fun for anybody around you, right? Then what happens when you're in your neutral? You utilize your visions. You live with them. You live to them, and you use them as guideposts. And you realize that it's a conduit to the infinite, and that you're grateful for that outpouring, that you really got receptive and you allowed this. So hairline, right? Because your hair is all about your antenna. It's all about energy. And there's a whole thing with how to comb your hair. If you have long hair, especially in the morning, you should comb it down and then comb it forward and then put it up and consolidate that energy in your crown so you can bring all that energy down through your body. And a wooden comb is the best way to comb it. All right? Massaging your scalp. Do you massage your scalp before you wash your hair? It takes a second. Just do it. If you give yourself a hot oil treatment, fabulous, massage it. It just you stimulate that whole part of your body, right? We're going to come back and go over exercises and all that to how to change this. This is just a description of each one. So we're going to move on to eyebrows. Eyebrows are really fun. What do? We move our eyebrows. Some people can move one eyebrow up at a time, and some people, they look at something and they're like, the eyebrows, they talk. Our eyebrows talk. I mean, sometimes one eyebrow gets lower than the other, and you're constantly, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, okay, are my eyebrows okay? The consciousness of eyebrows are very different in different cultures. When my daughter came back from the Peace Corps in Honduras, she plucked all of her eyebrows out. It was like wild. I was like, what did you do? And she said, well, I wanted to see what it felt like. Everybody down there plucks their eyebrows out, and then they pencil them back in, right? She said, I had to understand why they did it and what it felt like. And I thought, wow, that's so amazing to just be willing to pluck all of your eyebrows out. The Jains take it one step forward. They actually pluck every hair on their head out once a year at least. And you're like, oh my God, what is that about? That is about, feeling that penance thing, that pain thing, where you make an offering of it to the infinite. I'm not into that, just so you know. I'm not going to make you pluck all your hair out. Not even your eyebrows. Don't mess with them. They're yours. They have a specific line that works for you and works for the energy of your moon penetrating you. Okay, so what happens in your eyebrows? Oh my God, eyebrows are this time. It's also a vision, a very visionary time, but it's much more of an intuitive vision. Instead of the vastness of your hairline, what happens in this one is it's much more healing, okay? You're going to feel like, oh, okay, I know what to do to heal myself. I know that I need to take time for myself. I know that I need to, calm down. I know that, the way I'm living is really, I'm going to burn out. I know I'm going to get dis-ease doing this. You start going, I know what I need to do to create healing. Or I need to switch jobs. I need to actually do my job and do something else at the same time because I don't want to be doing this anymore. So healing for me may mean doing more at this point in time because I need to understand what I'm doing to give back to the world. I need to understand how I'm part of healing. All right. Healing means, what do we say, when you're training a dog? Heal. It means to obey that infinite, to be in the flow of that infinite. So you know what heals you. You know what it is that you can heal, how your healing is. Some people, their healing is their touch, and some people is their cooking. And some people is just the way that they look at people. And some people is in their writing. Everybody has a healing capacity, not just healers. And the first person you got to heal is you. Okay? So the challenge of this, you can pretty well guess what the challenge is it's like, you don't feel healed, you don't feel, you feel very left out, you feel very, diseased, right? But not in the sense that we often think about, but a total lack of ease in your life. It's like, and you will move into anyone else's fantasy because you're very susceptible, okay? If somebody tells you, la 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 la, oh my God, you just have to see this. This is the most fabulous job in the whole world. Come in for an interview. I would love to have you. And you go, and it's, to work in, some, telemarketing room, right? It's like, but you walked in and you bought the entire fantasy of the, and you'll get this kind of perk, and you get time off, and you can work from home, and all these things. You're going like, fantasies. We think of fantasies as like really fun things, like, I'm just going to sit and have a fantasy. And I will tell you, when it's in your eyebrows and it's challenged, that's all you're really going to want to do is like, I just kind of want to daydream in fantasy land. The challenge part of it is that if somebody else builds a fantasy castle, you will move into it. You will just like, you just buy the whole thing, okay? And I'll tell you, as we go through them, what you can do about this, okay? Because we can think that we love fantasies, and we can think that we love to act out fantasies in your sex life or whatever, but the truth of it is that going into the vastness of your visions is so much more powerful than the fantasy thing. So really, the challenge part of this is it makes you really susceptible and vulnerable to people coming along and snatching your energy. Think about it like that. Do you want somebody else to just take your energy and tell you how to use it and then make off with it? I hope not. All right. So how you use these visions, your healing visions, right, is the aspect of the neutral mind. Because a neutral mind doesn't care about your fantasies. It doesn't care about how vast your healing visions are. It's just what can be done with that. How can you use it? It just wants to know, what is it that can be utilized out of this? Your neutral mind is really like the perfect recycling process, right? The recycling plant they're not judging you on, you're so good because you brought this much stuff in. You're so bad because you never come here and visit. Recycling is just like, you bring it in, we can do something with it. We can make it into something else. That's what the neutral mind does. It can take everything, synthesize it, and create something really powerful and unemotional out of it. Yogi Bhajan used to say, be impersonally personal, which is such a neutral mind thing. It's like, don't get involved in it. And we think, I would hate that if somebody was like that. Truthfully, it will serve you so well in the most challenging aspects of your life. I can guarantee you. All right, on to the next one. We're never going to get through this at all. All right, so we've done hairline and eyebrows, right? We're on to cheeks. You ever notice, like, we love to, like, emphasize our cheekbones as women? We put on, blush. We put things on to make our cheeks look skinnier and, the cheekbones look higher. And we love cheeks. And they're soft. I mean, what do you want to kiss on a baby besides their, bottom? Is their cheeks. In India, oh my God, if you cheeks as a child, they will just like grab them and they just pinch them, and they think for some reason that's so cute, and it's painful. The kids hate it. They're like, ah! You know, and my kids used to go like, don't touch my cheeks. Your cheeks, however, rule. You become a PR magnet when you're in your cheeks. The positive aspect, right? Oh my God. You can take and promote and make anything happen. It's great. When you're in the challenged aspect of this, you doubt everything. You do. You just doubt, oh my God. And what does that make you do? It makes you flirt with everything. Okay? PR means that you get to go out and you promote. Flirting is you're promoting you, but without any kind of sustained energy. Flirting means like, tell me from the outside that I'm beautiful, I'm cute, I'm worthy, I'm, you know, you want me. That's really what flirting is. Chicka, here, oh here, chicka here, right? Flirting, huh, I'm so wonderful. And the neutral aspect to this, what happens with that? Oh my God, you get to take all of this, the PR, and you get to say, I know how to expand and bring out the greatness in anything. You're very secure and you feel very uplifted, right? What happens why do we put blush on our cheeks? Because we don't have that natural, you know, alive color there, and we want it. Just go in a cold climate, right? Go outside. What happens? The first thing that happens is your nose and your cheeks get all like happy and colored and red and rosy. And that's what we're looking for. That thing that says, I'm alive and I'm healthy and I'm radiant. So your radiance becomes apparent in this when you're in your neutral. All right. Moving to the lips. Beautiful, fabulous lips, right? Talkative. You get very, very, very talkative in the lips. And we'll talk about all the pros and cons and how you can use this and what it can do. But know that when you're in your lips, you feel like you could talk about anything. Somebody could give you any subject, you could talk about it. What happens in the challenged aspect of it is you feel like you can't communicate about anything. You feel stuck and completely incapable of like saying anything, right? It's like, I don't know. Maybe just that total insecurity that you can connect with that which is in front of you. And the neutral aspect of this is you can communicate with anyone about anything easily and effortlessly because you feel connected to them. Okay. Earlobes. Fabulous earlobes. What do we love to do with our earlobes? We love to stick things in them, right? Beautiful ornaments on our earlobes. They're very, very sensitive, your earlobes. And I remember Yogi Bhajan told us, do not put anything in your earlobes on a regular basis unless it's a full carat diamond. Full carat diamond, each one. Okay. That's the only thing that doesn't blow out those acupuncture points. Because otherwise you've got something in there on that 1 point or 2 or 4 or whatever it is continuously. That points are being stimulated and all the other ones aren't. So if you're going to wear earrings and you're not putting a full carat diamond in them, make sure that you only wear them for a few hours. Then take it out. Give that point a rest. And also, you might want to look up and find out what that point is that you're stimulating all the time. And does it really need to be stimulated? Maybe you do need 10 holes so that you can go back and forth between which ones you use. All right. So your earlobes are, you know, about values. You really want to know what it is that's important. Think about it. Earrings are like passed down oftentimes, and you get, you know, the legacy of your family through the jewelry. So your earrings are oftentimes heirlooms, something that was passed down to you or given to you. your values are really what you stand for. And you want to talk about those. You want to discuss them. You want to reevaluate all your relationships and your situations in your life. Are we on the same page? Do we really want the same things anymore? That's what's going to happen. In the challenged aspect of this, what do you think is going to happen with that? Okay. You're going to go, I have no idea of what I'm doing in this relationship. I don't know why I'm doing this. What is this job about? You question everything and you feel really disconnected, and you may be even very self-deprecating because it's like, oh, I should be doing this. I know I should be doing this, but I can't make myself do this. I don't want to do this. You know, this would be so much better for me. Why am I stuck in this job that, you know, is going nowhere? You know, so you start really getting down on yourself. You become the stupid one, the worthless one, you know, and it's very much turned in on you, okay, in this one. So externally talkative, internally talk, but the talk is not anything that's uplifting. Deprecating, self-deprecating means there is no self-love happening here. And the neutral is, oh my goodness, yeah, really empowered to live your values. There's no question. It's just like, this is what I stand for. If it means that all of this falls away from me, so be it. You know, it's not crazy. It's just, this is what's important. You know, these are the people that we have admired, you know, in our life, are the people that actually know what their values are and are willing to die for them, are willing to, you know, do whatever it takes to spread those values so that other people have the opportunities to have them. It's a very neutral mind, earlobe state for women. It's when you may get that, you know, that push that just says, what are you doing with your life? Why aren't you doing that what you really, really believe in? You know, if it means, you know, going to Africa and helping the children there, or if it means to, you know, becoming that person in the neighborhood who starts, you know, running an after-school thing that you get to read to children. It doesn't matter. It can be, you know, working with women's shelters. It can be, it doesn't matter. It just means that you know that your life has a value and it's far greater than what you've done thus far, and that you have every intention of really getting it done. Okay, so we're done with the earlobes. We're on to the back of the neck. Back of the neck, sexy center. Okay, the guys are going to love to know about this one, okay? Because in the back of the neck, you're really romantic. Talk romantically, you want to be talked to romantically. That's the positive aspect, like, talk to me romantically, kiss the back of my neck. You know, you want that. Really true romance doesn't mean seduction. True romance really means that I can open you up to the infinity inside of you. I can open up the vastness. I'm willing to be a doorway for you to walk through and experience that. Romancing the soul, that's what you have a chance to do here. So you can do that through a million different ways, and we'll talk about that later. But it's really like, yummy. Okay. And what happens when you're in the challenged aspect of this? Well, you feel like, I know, don't come near me. Don't, you know, don't talk to me. You know, don't think that this is okay. You're very shut down and very disconnected from the subtleties. Because the nape of the neck is very much about subtleties. It's like romance has subtleties. You know, sex doesn't necessarily have to, but romance really means, I see you, I get you, I know what it is that you would really love to have done for you, and that's the deal. So it's the beauty of that. And the challenge is the lack of the beauty or security in that, which makes you want to shut down, be cold and protective, and, you know, you talk like a machine. You're trying to act like a machine. When inside, really all you want is just like, talk to me sweetly. You know, open my soul by the fact that you allow me to relax. Okay? And the neutral of that is I can be that soul. I can be that vastness. I can open you. You know, you can open yourself and you can open others to that feeling of that the infinite is romancing us all the time. It's like having a love affair with us. You were created. Do you think that the creation doesn't think that you're the bomb? Oh my God. Yes. He, she, it does. So in this center, you can, you know, do wonderful things. I'll tell you a great story when we go into the depth of each one, okay? After the nape of the neck comes your nipples, okay? The positive, you are overgiving. You are, you know, Mother Teresa on steroids. You're just like, okay, oh, I can do that for you. I can do this. And chances are, this day, at the end of this day, if you're in the positive, you're going to feel like, oh my God, what was that about? You're just going to get exhausted because it's just like, you can't stop yourself from just, you know, being the good fairy to everybody. The challenged aspect of this is that you're very withholding and you feel incredibly insecure about your gifts. The neutral aspect of this is that you know how to be extremely compassionate and present. And it doesn't have to be that the only way of knowing how to do this is give, 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 give. Present and compassionate. Next is your navel, or we like to call it our belly button, right? So what is this about? The positive aspect of this one is about strength, it's about power, it's about energy. And in Kundalini Yoga, we have a lot of exercises for the navel, and when you come out of them, you feel like, right? You get your aortic pulse really pulsating, and you can feel that connection between your heart and your navel, and you're ready to go. Okay. The challenged aspect of this, not so fabulous, because you feel really unstable, unsure, you know, stopping and starting a lot of things, like, oh, maybe, You want somebody to tell you what to do and how to do it, right? The neutral aspect of this is you realize how you can use this energy. You're not just getting energy, you're not just feeling energized, but you actually utilize this energy in a very stable way. You don't just dump it all out. I'll tell you a story later about that, which is really great, because we, so much of the time, we work on getting energy, and then the first chance we have, we just go, blah, and just, you know, spread it all over the place, as opposed to going, wow, I have got this jewel called energy, and now I'm going to place it. And I'm going to realize what altar I'm going to place it on. That's the neutral mind. The neutral mind goes, don't waste it, just, you know, place it in the right places. The right amount in the right places. That's what the neutral mind knows how to do with that. Okay. Then what happens next is your inner thighs. Have you ever felt your inner thighs? Most people have no connection to their inner thighs. When I'm teaching yoga and I say, okay, squeeze your inner thighs so that you can actually lift up on the root lock, people are like, I have no idea. I mean, we know where they are, but how to squeeze them? What does that mean? It means you get to connect to your inner thighs. Because your inner thighs are really, you become very conformative in this. What does that mean? That means that you become very structured and you know exactly what needs to happen when you're in your inner thighs in the positive. It's like, I'm consolidated, I'm confirmed, I can conform to that confirmation, right? Structured, powerful. But not the same as the navel, which is very much about energy. Needing to create energy, needing to feel it. This is much more like, I have it, and now I need to consolidate it, right? And when it's in the challenged aspect, what is that about? That is about, oh my God, I'm so disorganized. Because confirmation, control, structure is very organized. The aspect of the challenged is Oh, okay. Maybe I should clean out a drawer. Oh no, maybe I should paint. Oh no, it's that just nothing feels like it's organized. Okay. And the neutral is, you feel a tremendous amount of creative strength because you have the foundation already in place. So therefore, with that control and that confirmation, you can expand out and be that feminine. So you can be very creative and very alive. Next is the clitoris. All right, what happens here? This is going to feel really funny when I talk about this because this is, in the positive, you want to socialize. We think of the clitoris, we don't exactly think about socializing unless you're thinking of orgies, and we're not. You're thinking of, okay, you just feel like, I'd really like to go to a party. You know, I'd really like to go to an opening of something. I'd really like to go see, you know, friends or whatever it is. So it's that time where you want to really be a social butterfly, truly. Organize a dinner party, you know, have people over. It's a good time to do that. What happens in the challenge is you get very cliquish and clannish. I only want my people. I only want the people I feel safe and secure with. You know, I only want to be around my best friend. So if you start to feel like that kind of cavey, like that, but cavey that you want your people with you in the cave. You know, there's other caves where you don't want anybody with you. This cave, people. Okay. The neutral is that you feel like you have the capacity to lead and uplift all of the people that you're with. So it's not just that you're with them and you can be chatty and social, but that you actually, your presence, your capacity and how you speak and how you connect is very uplifting. Okay. The most interesting one is the membranes of the vagina. And this is like a very internal, energetic, and connective. So this isn't too surprising. It's about where you long for connection. You want to be connected, and that's the most important thing. It can be with one person, it can be with a million, but you want that connection. The challenge to this is really quite challenging. You feel like a complete zero. You feel like a nothing. You feel like your life sucks. You're not important, and that's it. The neutral of this is that whatever happens, whatever we think of as good or bad or effective and ineffective, it doesn't do anything to you. It can all come, it can all go, and you're just there. So that's the 11 moon centers. And what are we going to do now? Is we're going to go back and we're going to do each one, talk about them in depth, and I'm going to give you things that you can do to get yourself from the challenge into the positive or hopefully neutral aspect of each one. Because these are just gifts, right? Each one of them has its gift and each one of it has its distraction, right? Which takes away from your attraction. And you get to decide. As you go through this, you get to decide, oh, I have these 3 aspects. If I'm here in the challenged aspect, and I feel like, you know, I'm talking like with swords and daggers coming out of my mouth because I happen to be in my lips and I'm, you know, it's the time where you can say like 6 words and you can just like slit somebody from, you know, the top of their head to their toes. You can go, I can get out of this. And I'm going to give you things that you can do to get out of these. Okay, so back, hairline, right? This beautiful place of vision. And it is a really beautiful place because when you're visionary, it means you're allowing the moon to reveal the mysteries of all infinity to you and through you. And who doesn't want that? I mean, that's the truth. Sometimes we're really scared by that. I get it because it's not cool to be a psychic or a mystic in many, many parts of the world. But the truth of it is that cool or not cool, it means you're connected. And that's what you want to feel like. You want to feel really that you're connected. Connect to your visions and let them talk to you. Write down your dreams. Write down what comes to you in meditation. And then have the courage to act on it. And know that if you're in the challenged aspect of this, it's like, oh, it's so not fun, because you just feel like nothing is coming. You don't really understand. This intuition and this knowingness is blocked, and it's like, oh my God, what can I do? And it makes you paranoid. It makes you doubt everything. That's really what paranoia is. You doubt. When you're in your visions and you have them and you actually claim them and you go, okay, this is trying to talk to me about this, I get this, then it's like, good deal. I get it. I may not like what I'm getting, but you get it. The people that tell us afterwards, like, I knew that earthquake was coming, I had this dream. But they didn't trust the dream enough to really tell anybody else. They just had it, okay? And they kept it, and afterwards they can say, I had it. But the truth of it is that when we get challenged, this closes down, and when we're disconnected from our vision and our dreams, we get amazingly paranoid. So what in God's name can we do to shift that state and to open up that awareness again, so that we can then hopefully get to our neutral mind, which is really the vastness of the knowingness of our visions, that we can utilize them in our life, that we can take them to work with us, that we can spread them around our family. And we don't have to tell people, I had this vision, I had this dream. We can just act on them, and we can act in a way that's very unthreatening and allows things to shift, that we can trust our capacity to pray for things, and that those prayers shift what's happening. Right, but what do you do when you're stuck in this, negative aspect? I'm going to give you some things, and we're going to talk about in each one of these, like foods that you can eat. We're going to talk about exercises that you can do and things that you can do to take care of yourself that help to get you back into the other ones. Okay, to help you get back into the positive, to help you get back into your neutral. So for your hairline, we're going to talk about a couple of things. But one of the big things is remembering bowing. Oh my goodness. Bowing is so powerful, because when that blood comes up into your head and it comes back down, the beauty of what happens is it changes the energy of the whole frontal lobe of your brain, of which your hairline is part of that, right? So I'm going to give you something really super simple. You can do this against a wall, on a desk, with your fingers on the floor. All you're going to do is you're going to put your fingertips on some surface, okay? And you're going to make an O out of your mouth, okay? And you're just going to breathe through that O. So just, and you're going to inhale up, and you're going to exhale your head down. So you're just going to imagine that I have my hands on a table right here, okay? Fingertips, you want to press your fingertips in so that it stimulates all the glands in your head. Because when the glandulars in your head, your pituitary, your pineal, your hypothalamus, and your thalamus are stimulated, your brain doesn't go off on you, okay? And for women, it's like our emotional bodies are so delicate and they're so changing that it affects our brain. And when those glands are really balanced, it helps to make you feel more balanced and more connected. Really important. So, fingertips on the ground, fingertips on your desk, fingertips on the wall, and you're going to inhale and you're going to exhale and bring that head in between your hands. So I'm going to just act like I have my fingertips on a wall, and you're just going to just do. Come on, I want you to do this with me. You can stand up and put your fingertips on the floor and do it too. Open your legs wide. Come on, important to do this. Do it with me for at least 90 seconds so you can feel what this can do. 3 minutes is the best. And inhale. And exhale. Fabulous. Good going. And if your head doesn't feel more clear and open and energized, then you have to do it for longer. Because it can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes to totally change that perception. You will get out of your paranoid state. Now, really, really great. What that O breath does for you is you have to focus on it, because as soon as you stop focusing on it, you'll just close your mouth, right? You can also do hula, just because sound, mantra, really can change the frequency as well. It's an important, amazing capacity to change what is. Because when we feel paranoid, we've got a mantra spinning around in there. It's just not one that's really serving you very well. So a new mantra to get there is really good. And hula really connects the head and the heart. And in this visionary state, those two parts have to be connected, because otherwise it's like, woo, you're like the space cadet, you know, from the 60s of like, it's all lovely and beautiful and I'm having visions. And then if you don't know what to do with them and you don't bring them into your life and you don't incorporate them and utilize them, they're just things out here, right, that are lovely and fun to play with. And it's fantasy world. It's definitely a fantasy. Okay. So that's one thing. Now, what kind of foods would you eat for your hairline? Well, think about what's nourishing for your hair. Okay? What's nourishing for your hair is to comb it with a wooden comb or brush it with a boar bristle brush. It's massaging it with, you know, oils and shampooing your hair, making sure that your hair stays clean so that it's not building up a lot of, you know, sebaceous gland things. So the things that you don't want to do, we're going to do the yamas and the niyamas here, right? The do's and the don'ts in the food category. So the niyamas are anything fried, you know, anything that you cook with oils that don't really, that break down and create really funkiness, because you're going to, that's all going to build up in your pores. Okay, it's going to build up in your liver and your gallbladder. It's going to build up in the pores of your body and in the glands in your head. So fried, no. What you do want, though, is really good oils in your diet. You want to take oils that will really uplift you. If flax oil works for you, utilize it. If it makes you feel fat and cranky, stop using it. There's other really good oils that you can do. You can do borage oil. You can do olive oil. You can do, if you're into dairy, you can do ghee, which is clarified butter. It's really good to cook with. Grapeseed oil, right, is a really good cooking oil. It doesn't break down. So all of these things, to know that. And as women, you need oil in your diet. If you're going on an oil-free diet, it's not good for you. We need oil for our lubrication, for our skin and our joints and our radiance. We need oil. And we went through that phase, and I'm hoping it's gone, that it's like no oil. No oil in the foods, no oil. It's like when I go to places that have like food that are made with no oils, I just ask them to bring me olive oil, of which I pour liberally all over everything. Olive oil is so yummy. I love olive oil. And just remember that you want things that will create that oiliness and that flow, right? There's a saying that it's much easier to get pregnant when you have a few pounds on you, because the attraction to that which will, you can hold on to things better. Let's just face it, you can hold on to things better. So when you want to get pregnant with your visions, I'm not saying you have to put on 5 or 10 pounds. I'm just saying include oil in your diet. Good for you. Avocados, great natural oily food, right? All right. So we've done an exercise. We've done some food tips. How about a breath tip for this, right? Because you're talking about vision, I want to give you a breath that really calms the parasympathetic nervous system down. And when the parasympathetic nervous system is calmed down, we can kind of go like, oh, we can sit back, and that's the time that things just flow to you. So there's several of them. I'm going to pick one that's really kind of very little known. It's called a sipping breath. And you're just going to act like you're just have a straw in your mouth, and you're just going to sip the breath in. So it's just, and then you exhale out the nose. Close your eyes. Now that you know what it looks like, close your eyes. Just let your hands relax on your lap in Gyan Mudra, the Mudra of wisdom, right? And just do it with me. You can feel so relaxed doing this. You'll kind of go, ooh, yeah, just come on, a couple more times, just. And exhale. I don't know about you, but I feel great. I feel like, okay, so let's just, connect here. All right. So you've got the hairline. The next one is eyebrows, right? The beauty of your eyebrows is they're pretty neat looking things. It's almost like we have caterpillars crawling across our face. You just got this whole face that has nothing, and then you just have these little, this little fur right over your eyes. And every hair on your body goes in a different direction, and it's really necessary. So the little caterpillars crawling here are really important. They are all about healing. They're all about protecting. They're creating like this little window, covering for your eyes. Your eyelashes and your eyebrows are the protective coverings of your eyes, right? Things can come and get in your eyebrows or on your eyelashes before they actually get in your eyes. You ever, a magical thing is like go out and walk in the snow and just let snowflakes drop, right? You can just feel them on your eyelashes and you can see them on your eyebrows. And they don't get in your eyes because your eyes has all these protective coverings on them. So your eyebrows are really about seeing. So you're again in the visionary tract because they're the seeing protectors. They're the awnings of the eyes, which are your souls, right? And this time it's about healing. It's about knowing, what is healing and how to get into that healing capacity for yourself and others. And sometimes that's really challenging because we think, oh, I don't have the time. Isn't that what we say as women? I don't have the time. I have to take care of my children, I have to take care of my husband, I have to take care of my partners, I have to take care of my family, I have to take care of my aging parents, I have to take care of... I don't have the time to take care of me. It's not possible. It has to be possible. You have to find time. So I'm going to give you really little things, not humongous things that you say, I can't do that, so I'm just not going to do any of it, right? Really, really great things to do for this. But first I want to talk a little bit about the whole consciousness of fantasies, right? Which is what happens is fantasies are, if only I could, if only this would happen to me. We grew up with fantasies. Come on. I mean, it was, if it wasn't Cinderella, it was Prince Charming. I remember how totally ticked I got when the laughing prince didn't make it through to Prince Charm, to rescue her. I was like, turn it off. What is that about? So ridiculous. Who's Prince Charming? We're all kind of waiting for Prince Charming. Okay, on whatever level it is. Maybe it's not a man. Maybe it's the perfect job. Maybe it's the perfect house or the perfect life or the, the fantasy thing that we're just like, oh yeah, that thing, that longing, that Okay, so we're going to do some things that get you out of the fantasy, okay, and into what you can do with this healing. So in here I'm going to talk about things that you can do for yourself. Really little things that are so important. The first thing is admit to what you love. Okay. Do you love taking a bath? What kind of sports do you love? Do you love yoga or swimming or rollerblading or running or going to the gym? What do you love? And I want you to write down 3 things that you really love doing. I love going to the art museum. I love having time to read my book by myself. Oh my God, could you imagine if you could have a half an hour in the bathtub and read a book? Okay. These things may be more important, maybe, they are more important than sleep sometimes. You know, give up a half an hour of sleep and go take your book in the bathtub with you. Go meditate, you know, in your bathtub or while you're taking a walk. I'm not recommending this all the time. I'm just saying, if you want to meditate and you love taking a walk, combine them so that you can experience them both. How can you do a walking meditation? Walk and just do sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. Truth is that identity, right? That each step is that sa, that birth, ta, life, na, nothing, nada, right? Death, ma, rebirth. But every step has that encoded in, so you're getting this sound current. You're giving yourself a sound bath, okay, internally. And it's really important. So you can do that. But make that list of 3 things, the most important 3 things that you're passionate about, that you would love to have in your life. And realize if you add those, you're adding and you're answering your healing dreams in your life. Because when you do that, you'll have more energy for everything else in your life. Because what happens as women is when we don't get this, we get resentful, okay? And then we just want to space out and live somewhere else because we're not getting to do any of the things that make our life beautiful. So it becomes a lie if you don't live to the fullness of your healing dreams, right? You know it's true. It's like we get tight and cold and hard, and then we start being reactive and funky with everybody around us. So everybody around you will be totally great and grateful if you say, I just need to do this for me. And if they're not, then maybe you need to move away from some of them, because the truth of it is that if you don't take care of you and you don't honor the healing in your life, you will have some big dis-ease that will show up. And then they're going to end up taking care of you or leaving you at that point in time anyway. So what is preventative medicine? It means before the over-the-cliff happens, that you look at what your life needs. I need to eat better. I can't tell you how many women have told me that, oh God, I just need to eat better. What does that mean? And how are you going to do that? Are you going to make big batches of food so that you have that food, so you're not running to McDonald's or somewhere else weird and picking up the dinner for tonight, or KFC or something hideous? That you can actually, make a soup in the crock pot while you're at work. That you can, utilize all the things that we have right now at our fingertips so that we can make really healing, nourishing food for your children, for your family, for you. You need to be, and you deserve to be nourished, and you deserve to eat properly. Okay? Important. Greens. Add lots and lots and lots of wonderful greens to your diet. Okay? So understand that how you eat is very important. What you eat is very important. And look at that. Be with that. Go, okay, what is it that, I'm not eating and I'm not getting? Are you eating the kids' leftovers? And, or do you actually what my mother used to do, which I thought was brilliant, is she would sort of eat dinner with us, but then when all the kids were in the bathtub, she would have my dad be with us and taking baths and showers and all that kind of stuff. She would sit down and have her real dinner then, okay? So she could sit down and eat in peace. Because otherwise she was jumping up and getting, this and that and the other thing the whole dinner, and she never had peaceful dinner. I mean, there were 6 kids. We were spilling stuff everywhere, and, it was a mess. So she figured it out. I thought, okay, if she could figure this out in the 50s and the 40s, for God's sake, we can figure it out now, how we can do that. We have so many more tools and so much more at our disposal. What do you eat for lunch at work? Do you take, something for lunch at work? It was so great when I was in London. This girl was saying, everybody is jealous of my lunch. But all it is I just take these little pita pockets and I stuff it full. They call arugula rocket. Okay, so it's rocket in London and I think all of Europe. Rocket. I thought, what a funny name for a green. It's rocket, but it does. It rocket powers you, truthfully. So she puts that in there, and she puts some mustard and rocket, and then she just put these little, I'm vegan, so you're not going to hear me talking about this, but little chicken parts. But you could put tofu, you could put avocado, you can put anything in there. Olives and avocado, oh my God. Take that to work with you. It takes almost no time to make. It's not going to cost you as much as eating lunch out. And it's certainly a whole lot better than a cup of soup or whatever, those cup of noodles or, pour that hot water and eat it. It will give you the fuel that you need to feel you, to feel connected to you, and to feel that you have the capacity to do that so that you don't have to feel like you just want to live in a fantasy world because your life is so sucky. The truth of it is there's so many little things that we can do about our life to get back and living in that realm of the healing visions so that we can be who we are as women to others, which is we're healers. We're natural healers. We do that naturally. When I was in Toronto, everybody in the house had a cold, so I was sharing. I travel with this plethora of vitamins and minerals and stuff, and I was giving everybody stuff for their colds, okay, all these immune builders and stuff, and I was giving the kids, bedtime tea so they would go to sleep at night, and and everybody's like, okay, but it was just a natural thing to me. It was something I even thought about, but it's because I also do those things for me, and I did them for my children, and I've done them my whole life. So it takes a while to create a habit, 40 days to break an old one. So be willing to create this new habit. That means healthy visions. For me, I will live them so I can spread the healthy visions out. All right, so you can look at your passions. Okay, the most important thing here that we're going to do is we are going to do an exercise for doing this, because what happens is that so much of the time when we get overwhelmed, I'm going to teach you this fabulous breath. You can do a 4-part breath. It matters. You want to really start down as low as you possibly can, pubic bone preferably, and come up in 4 segments and down in 4 segments. So 4 segments in, 4 segments down. Okay, I'm going to just do this with my hands so that you get it, and you can watch me a couple of times and close your eyes and feel it. Okay, because if you get it and you go, oh my God, I feel so much better, then you have to do it often so that you remember it, when it's in this time. It's so interesting because if we say a mantra 3 times every hour, it will become a reality, whatever that mantra is, all right? So if you say a mantra and you say something about, I am healed and, more powerful and better every day, 3 times every hour, you're going to become that, okay? If you say, I'm more prosperous and loving and giving, you're going to become that. Whatever that means, that will come to you. Okay, so ready? And inhale deeply. Put your hands over your heart. And exhale. And one more little thing. I want you to realize that you can take your hands and you can tap on your third eye all the way across your forehead. Get your eyebrows included in this tapping, right? And you'll change the energy and the frequency of this. It's so simple, it's so easy, and if you do this, you're going to feel like, oh my God. You can do it on your whole face. But do at least this part. It will clear up your frontal lobe of your brain. And this is the part that you can take energy through the sunlight in. Okay? Just do it. And now inhale deeply. And exhale. Okay. So we will be back on part 2. And we will start with Shas. Satnam. Thank you. Bless you.